What's up, everybody? Bluegabe. I want to teach you guys how to never break a rod again. See this rod bend? These things bend for a reason, and I'm going to do my best to do a quick little video and show you guys how you can make your rods last longer and not break them. I've broken plenty of them, so what I'm going to teach you is going to be from lessons that I've learned. So right here on any rod, you can see they all have reel seats, and they have foam right here and some in the front. Now this is my little favorite Fathom, just a bass fishing rod with a spinner bait on it. It's a 7-foot 3/8 ounce 12 to 20 pound fast action. So this is like a spinner bait topwater style rod. And a lot of things that people do wrong when they're catching fish is when they hook one, they hold the rod wrong. So right here I have 4 different rods. I've got a bigger snapper rod, I've got my old salty heavy duty, whatever you want, jack, snook, and then I have all the way down here to my crappie rod or bluegill rod. And I have some heavy weights that I'm going to sit right here and show you what to not do. So one of the biggest things that I see people do wrong is when they hook a fish, they grab it right here when it comes time to landing it. That is your number one no-no. You never place your hand up here. You will see professional bass fishermen do it. You will see me do it from time to time. But that doesn't mean it's right. That's how you break a rod. That's your number one no-no to never breaking a rod again. And kids, y'all pay attention because this is important. Your parents buy you a new rod, or you work a summer job to get a new rod. Adults, heck, I have to save to get new rods. Number one no-no is never grab it right there. Don't grab it here, don't grab it here, don't grab it here. Only grab it where it's designed to be grabbed. That's here and at the most right here. That's where this rod is designed to be held. Now it does have a butt, so you can put some pressure, put it up in your armpit and hold it right here. Now let me put a weight on here and show you why you don't do that. So right here I've got 2 pounds. Now when you're dealing with lead, this 2 pounds feels a lot heavier than a 2-pound bass would feel in the water because it's just straight dead weight. So I'm going to start with 1 pound. And a lot of people catch 1-pound bass. So this rod, when you're fighting a fish and you get in close to the boat, especially on a bass fishing style boat, it's real low to the water. So people are like, they're trying to get down or they're fighting him and they want to do this right here. Swing him out of the water. Now that's a 1-pound weight, so that wasn't very much pressure. But let me show you just how easy it is. And this is specifically for when you're also fighting fish to save your back. You don't need to ever bend your back, ever. Look. See how much easier that was? People tend to panic, and trust me when I say I've done it too. I am guilty of everything I'm telling you not to do, and so is everybody else that fishes. I'm just trying to give you the best advice you can do to save your rods. So if you have the bass of your dreams on right now, and he's down there digging, and he's too heavy to lift up, here's what I recommend. See how my hand's coming in here? I'm now holding it till I can get in here, and you use the rod as leverage and you lip him. Take some of the weight off the rod. Another huge no-no is, I'm going to put the weight back in the water, holding your rod straight up. Because now you're taking bend out of the main part of the rod and you're putting it on the tip. This whole rod is designed to bend from one end to the other. That's the design of the rod. It's not designed to bend from this eye forward or from this eye back. The whole rod's designed to bend. So if you grab it here, you're taking some of the bend out. This isn't doing anything, and up here's doing everything. So if you have just a 1-pound bass, keep your back straight, reel him up, get the fish coming towards the boat, lift him in. If he's a huge bass, let some line out, put your hand here to where you can get some leverage on your rod and swing him up here, grab your line, taking some tension off, and put him on, or grab the fish by its lip. Now that's the spinnerbait rod, and that's a 1-pound weight. I'm going to go to a much bigger weight now. This is my Mag's custom snapper rod, and it is a very, very strong rod, but with a very, very flimsy tip. That's what I love about these Mag rods, is that little flimsy tip. But the backbone of the rod is very, very strong. Now this weight's 10 pounds. This is a sword fishing weight, and it's going to push this rod to the max. But I'm going to show you how I can pick the fish up and put it on the deck without breaking the rod. Hopefully. Whoa, that weight's heavy. So right now I'm fighting a big tuna. I've got him on and he's digging. You see this part of the rod right here? See that? In my armpit. My back is straight. I'm using my armpit as leverage and I'm cranking down. Always keeping a bend in the rod. Now back up a little bit and I'm going to show. This weight's so heavy that it's actually taking drag out. My hand is on the butt. See that? My hand's here. My hand's not anywhere other than here. This is a little bit different than my bass rod that I just showed you because it actually has this foam right here. So they're telling me you can put your hand here without breaking the rod. Don't grab it here. Don't grab it here. You'll hear me in almost every video I do with anybody. Keep your back straight. Real. Keep that rod bent. This rod is designed to bend, and you're putting more pressure on the fish when the rod is bent. If you're pointing straight at him like this, you have so much tension on your line that you're way more subject to break it, and you're actually not putting as much tension on the fish as you are when you're bending that rod. You see that? I've got, like, this is all this rod wants. Now, if I had a 18-pound kingfish or 12-pound mutton, back up, I'm gonna show you again. Got it in my arm, I reel down, and I swing him up there just like that. Again, you can do the same thing. If he's too big to lip, you put it right here, and you just lip him at the side of the boat. But this particular rod, you're always gonna have a gaff nearby. So if you don't wanna try to flip him in the boat like we do all the time, you'll see us in our mahi videos. We just sling the dolphin over and some of them go all the way over the boat. Luke right now will show you a clip of him jerking an Oscar all the way over to the other side of the boat. There are other ways to land a fish, but if you plan on using the rod to do it, like you'll see people panicking, me too, and you'll grab it up here. I didn't put much pressure on that rod right then because I will surely snap it. But if I don't want to snap it, reel down, get the fish swimming towards the boat, and swing him up. That's how I do it with a really big rod. And that's how I grew up commercial kingfishing. Here in Jupiter, we would be catching so many that you didn't have time to get the gaff. Now this is pretty much my favorite rod ever made right here. This is my Old Salty. It's a 710, 17 to 40 pound, 1 to 3 ounce fast action. This is what we catch all the big jacks on. Most of the dolphin you see us catch, mahi, muttons. This is like my go-to setup. That Old Salty didn't play around. This rod can dang near handle as much as that Mag's rod. But you see right here, the cork is much shorter. See how that is? Just barely as big as my hand. That's them telling me, don't put your hand right here. Don't put it up here. This is where you fight the fish, right here. So I'm fighting a big dolphin. You'll see me reeling down on him. I'm reeling down. I will get the fish swimming towards the boat, even if he has to do another circle. I'll reel down. Easy peasy. It's easy on my back. It's easy on the line. It's easy on everything. Control it. I'm using it dug into my hip right here. I've got it held on the reel seat. I can do anything I want because the whole rod is performing. See that? That's a heavy weight. That's a 7-pound weight. And I can just swing it around like it's absolutely nothing. One of the most important parts of when you're fighting a fish is get his head coming towards the boat. See how he's swimming towards the boat? He's coming towards the boat. I got him. Just like that. That is, to me, the most important part of fishing. Because once you hook the fish, that part's done. Now the only important part is getting the fish in the boat, fighting him properly. Keep your back up, back straight, bend your elbow, lock it into your hip. I always like to put 2 fingers right there. Keep your back straight and let the rod do the work. So many people put the work on their back. Just let the rod do the work. That's why you're using a fishing pole and not a finger tied, not a line tied to your finger. let that rod do the work. Put the bend in there, lock your elbow, fight him. You can fight him for way longer. You're not getting tired, and that's how you do that. Here's the most important one, because this is the one when people frustrate me the most. My crappie rod. This is an ACC crappie stick. I love them. You see me use them in all my crappie videos, some of my Oscar videos. But look how itty bitty bitty this is right here. You can put a 3-pound crappie in the boat, holding it nothing right there. It's the only place you need to hold it. Worst case scenario, grab it two-handed, but you don't need to. Hold it right on the reel. For one, when I'm jigging crappie, see the line? That's how I'm dropping it in the reeds, jig, 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 boom, I got one. I go to right here. Let me put a weight on it. I should probably start out easy, huh? Let me put a 1 pound on here first. Because your typical bluegill or crappie, especially if you're not in Okeechobee, about a pound. See that? Watch how easy it picks that weight up. This rod starts bending back here at the reel seat and is just like all the rest of them. Look how, show right down the rod. Look at that. See, the rod's bent from here forward. I'm using it right here on my hand as a brace. Look at that. Done. Now let me swing back here so y'all can see it. I'm sitting here jigging along. Boom, I got one. At most, I'm just gonna grab right here with both hands. Swing it in. Just like that. This rod is when I see it happen the most. Almost everybody I take fishing with me wants to do this. Oh, I got a big one in the back. And you see them back there and they're like, oh. And guess what? The rod breaks because you've taken 3 foot of the rod's purpose out of the equation and you put in all the pressure from here to the front and the rod will snap. Now this is only a 1 pound weight, so it's not that much. I'm gonna go to 2 pounds in a minute and I'll show you. So when we're sitting here jigging, 2 pound fish, look at that. My back's straight. You've got the world record bluegill on right now. Typical form. Guys, get the net! This is what you need to do. World record bluegill. One hand in the boat. This isn't me bragging. This isn't me doing anything. This is reality. You can do more good to that world record bluegill or crappie by staying calm, holding the rod where it needs to be held, and just gently picking the fish out of the water like that. Now, we'll go to 2 pounds.
All right.
If you have a pull and you have a chance to hook weights up, you'll see that 2 pounds of lead weight is way harder than a 2 pound fish. But still, now I definitely have the world record crappie on. The rod is like, look, I want this to be shown. See how my wrist is twisted and this rod is right here? It's pinned up against my arm. Worst case scenario, I can slide in here. Come here and show them again. It's pinned here, my hand's here. Worst case scenario, I will come double up my hand, just like that. But you don't need to. You've been fishing all day, you're tired, you're weak. You're like Brad and I, you've caught 100 crappie. Kelly's maybe only caught 10, but Brad and I are tired. You just come in here like this and set him on the bank. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. Now, if I grab up here with this 2 pounds, this rod's definitely gonna break. Back straight, keep your rod right there. I am putting a crazy amount of pressure on that rod and it's perfectly fine. So this is just a quick little how-to video, how to not break a rod. I rarely ever do videos like this that are this short that are specifically pointed at one thing, but I've had so many rods broke by myself and friends that have been fishing with me that don't really know the correct way to hold a rod. After watching this, there is no reason you should ever break a rod fishing again. If you hold it correctly, and this rod hasn't been damaged prior by like, before I end this video, I'm gonna go out to the truck and show you one more thing that is completely terrible to do to a rod that I had to learn the hard way. But if this rod right here is perfectly good, there's no nicks, already established cracks, if you hold it how I showed you, you cannot physically with your arm break this rod. You can't. You'll break the line or you'll rip the hook out of the fish's mouth. That's how you do it. On this beautiful Sunday, windy morning, I just showed y'all how to not break a rod, so there's no more excuses. Unless you're like Jake. I got him a brand new favorite rod the other day. He wanted to take it to his mom's house, which is completely fine. Everything's good with that, but I said, take care of the rod. What's he do? Let me just show y'all real quick. Don't even end it. Let's just walk inside. This is on our way to the truck. I'm going to show you what not to do. Except for, I can't actually show you breaking the rod because it's my favorite spinnerbait rod. So he goes to his mom's house. He walks inside. The wind's blowing like it is today. He gets to about right there, and the wind slams the door shut. Look at that. Done. Done dealing. So here's, Kelly's like, can I do it? Can I do it? No, you can't do it. Here's how you walk into a doorway. Hold it midways up. This is the only time you can hold it midways up. Walk in, hold the door with your right hand, come inside, and shut the door. That's the proper way. I might not even have to do a single edit on this video. See, I'm going back out a door. Watch, it'll blow shut in a minute. I'm holding it midways. I've got this door under control. I just walked out. Every single person that owns a pickup truck that's fished in his life has done what I'm about to show you. And it took the owner of Favorite Rods, Mr. Winston, to explain to me why it's bad. Every human on the planet that owns a pickup truck has done this right here at one point in their life. I get it, it's crazy windy. You know what happens to this rod? Come right here. When you're driving down the road, come in here close. You see right here? You do that for months on end every time you're going to your favorite fishing hole, and you are stressing that part of the rod, especially if there's 3 or 4. My suggestion is take a towel, wrap it around, put a zip tie, tie a sock, something to keep it from doing that right there. Because all that's doing is adding problem to the graphite. I called Mr. Winston, I said, I just broke one of my favorite rods. It broke for no reason, I just cast it and it broke. He goes, you've been putting it in the back of your truck? I said, yep. He goes, did it break about the 3rd eye down? I said, yep. He goes, I told you not to do that. I started paying attention to that. Don't do this. It's steadily beating on the rod right there, and over time, it will break. Just wherever it's hitting the truck, it will break. So that's all I got for y'all today. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below if you want to see more, like specifically how-to videos on one thing. Other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the positive comments. But like Jake always says, it's time to get up out of here and get the heck out of shape.